The mall was a hive of noise and motion. Its polished floors reflected the glare of overhead lights. Shoppers bustled past, their arms laden with bags, while the scent of pretzels and coffee drifted from the food court. Harold Grayson, a frail 78-year-old with a kind face etched by time, made his way toward the bookstore. His hands, slightly unsteady, clutched a small paper bag containing a poetry book for his granddaughter, a gift he'd saved up for, knowing how much she loved words. A retired schoolteacher, Harold carried himself with quiet dignity, his cane tapping softly as he navigated the crowd. But today, that dignity was about to be challenged. Near the mall's central fountain, a group of 5 young men, all in their late teens, lounged with restless energy. Their laughter was sharp, laced with malice, as they tossed a half-empty energy drink can between them, scanning for someone to mess with. Their eyes landed on Harold. His slow steps and unassuming presence made him an easy mark. The leader, a wiry guy with a shaved head and a snake tattoo curling up his neck, grinned wickedly. "Yo, check out the old-timer," he said, nudging his crew. They moved like a pack, closing in on Harold. "Hey, Grandpa," the leader called, stepping into Harold's path. "What's in the bag?" "Your will." His friends laughed, forming a tight semicircle around the old man. Harold paused. His gray eyes flickered with unease. He adjusted his glasses, trying to sidestep them. "Just heading to the bookstore, young man," he said, his voice soft but firm. "Please, let me pass." "Pass?" another bully, a beefy kid with a buzz cut, mocked. He snatched the bag from Harold's hand, tossing it to the leader. Harold reached for it, his voice rising. "That's for my granddaughter. Give it back." The leader dangled the bag just out of reach, then shoved Harold's shoulder, hard enough to make him stumble. The book fell out, hitting the floor with a dull thud, its pages splaying open. The group howled with laughter. The buzz-cut kid kicked Harold's cane, sending it skittering across the tiles. The crowd around them froze. Some shoppers glanced over with furrowed brows. Others pretended not to see. A teenage girl gripped her phone, her thumb hovering over the record button. A man in a suit hurried past, avoiding eye contact. Harold's face burned with humiliation, but he squared his shoulders. His voice trembled, yet remained defiant. "You don't have to do this. Just give it back." The leader smirked, stepping closer, his breath hot with the smell of energy drink. "Or what, old man?" He shoved Harold again, this time hard enough to make him stagger into a bench. The situation was spiraling. The bullies were feeding off each other's cruelty. But then, a low, gravelly voice cut through the air like a blade. "Back off. Now." All eyes turned. Standing a few feet away, leaning casually against a pillar, was Jason Statham. His black leather jacket hugged his lean, muscular frame. His piercing eyes burned with quiet intensity. He'd been at the mall to pick up a repaired watch, sipping a coffee at a nearby kiosk, unnoticed until this moment. Jason had watched the scene unfold, his jaw tightening with every taunt and shove. He wasn't looking for a fight. But he wasn't about to let this go. The leader turned, sizing Jason up with a sneer. "Who the hell are you? Mind your own business, tough guy." Jason stepped forward. His movements were smooth and deliberate, like a panther stalking prey. "Pick up the bag and the cane," he said, his voice calm but laced with steel. "And walk away while you still can." The bullies laughed, but it was forced. Their confidence wavered under Jason's unblinking stare. The buzz-cut kid, trying to play tough, stepped up, cracking his knuckles. "You wanna go, bald man? There's 5 of us." Jason's lips twitched into a faint, dangerous smile. 5. That's cute." Without warning, the buzz-cut kid lunged, throwing a clumsy punch. Jason moved like lightning, sidestepping the swing with ease. He grabbed the kid's wrist, twisted it, and in one fluid motion, flipped him onto his back. The bully hit the floor hard, gasping. The wind knocked out of him. The crowd gasped, stepping back. The other 4 froze, their bravado crumbling. The leader, recovering quickly, pulled a switchblade from his pocket. He flicked it open with a metallic snick. "You're dead, man," he snarled, lunging at Jason. "Big mistake." Jason pivoted, his reflexes honed from years of training. He caught the leader's wrist mid-strike, twisting it until the blade clattered to the ground. With a swift elbow to the jaw, he sent the leader stumbling back, clutching his face. Another bully, a lanky kid with a lip ring, charged in, swinging wildly. Jason ducked, delivering a precise kick to the kid's knee. The bully dropped to the floor with a yelp. The remaining two hesitated, then rushed him together, hoping to overwhelm him. They didn't stand a chance. Jason moved like a machine, calculated, relentless. He blocked a punch from one, used the momentum to spin him into the other, sending both crashing into a nearby trash can. The fight was over in seconds. The bullies lay sprawled on the ground, groaning, their egos bruised as much as their bodies. Jason didn't even break a sweat. He straightened, brushed his hands together, and turned to the crowd. "Someone call security," he said, his voice steady. The teenage girl with the phone finally hit record, her hands shaking. Others murmured in awe that he knelt beside Harold, who was gripping the bench, his eyes wide with a mix of fear and admiration. "You all right, sir?" Jason asked, his tone softening. Harold nodded, his voice shaky but grateful. I think so. Thank you, young man. I didn't know what to do." Jason picked up the cane and the bag, handing them to Harold with care. The poetry book was slightly crumpled, but intact. "This for your granddaughter?" he asked, glancing at the cover. "Yes," Harold said, a faint smile breaking through. "She loves poems. I was a teacher, you know. Always tried to teach kids to be kind, but," he gestured toward the groaning bullies, his expression sad. "Some need more than words." Jason's eyes softened, a rare warmth breaking through his tough exterior. "You did your part. They'll learn, one way or another." He stood, offering Harold a hand. "Come on. I'll walk you to the bookstore. No more trouble today." As they walked, the crowd parted. Some clapped. Others whispered words like, "hero." Harold, his step steadier now, shared stories of his teaching days, of students he'd helped, of lessons on compassion he hoped still lingered. Jason listened, his respect for the old man growing. At the bookstore, Harold insisted on buying Jason a coffee, though Jason tried to brush it off. They sat for a moment, two strangers connected by a fleeting act of courage and kindness. "You didn't have to fight for me," Harold said, his eyes misty. "But you did." "Why?" Jason shrugged, his voice quiet. "Because it was right. And because I've seen too many people look the other way." When Harold left for his bus, book in hand, he felt lighter, not just from the rescue, but from the reminder that goodness still existed. Jason watched him go, a faint smile on his face. The mall buzzed on, but for those who'd witnessed it, the moment lingered, a blaze of action, a spark of kindness, a story of an old man's dignity restored, and a stranger who'd fought for it, heart and soul.